What's the word, you two? What's the word, you Thizzle? What's the word, you Tizzle? What's the word, you? What's going on, man? Hey, man, today, man, now we got a requested video. This was just recently requested, too. It wasn't highly requested, but it was a good requested one, man. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and react to it, man. So we got top 10 terrifying facts about Maori Warriors. I'm pretty sure this is New Zealand. I just reacted to New Zealand slang part 1. I will be doing part 2. You guys wanted me to watch part 2. I'll be watching that. I'll be watching that soon. I will be making another channel too. Let's go ahead and get straight to it though, man. I'm actually in a perfect mood to watch this video. I hope this is very entertaining, man. Very informative and very like grimy. That might sound messed up, but I hope it's like very just gruesome. Cause it's terrifying facts about warriors. So they probably was having some warrior shit going on. It was probably doing some real gruesome, like terrifying stuff. I want to see what's going on. Let's get it.
Simon Whistler, you're watching Top 10's Net, and in the video today we're looking at the top 10 terrifying facts about Maori warriors.
Let's get it. What's going on?
Number 10. Their tattoos were carved in. Tattoos held a special significance to the Maori people, and both men and women would get them. The most common place to get them was the face, but some Maori people were known to get their necks, torsos, and arms tattooed as well. Most Maoris started getting their tattoos during adolescence. Each design was unique, but generally they were in the shape of spirals. They were tattooed on during a ceremony, and each line showed the person's bravery and strength. After all, these tattoos weren't put on using a needle gun. Instead, they were carved into the skin using a mallet and a chisel that was made from bone, and the ink was made from ashen fat. This left the skin with grooves like a record instead of being smooth like modern tattoos.
Yeah, I believe that your tattoos back then, it wouldn't even be smooth. It would be like a lump. It would be lumpy kind of. Now that is very hardcore. That's a good opener right there. That's a good opener. They just opened it up. That's number 10. I wonder what number 1 is. I love videos like this. I hope this video gets more feedback on it because I hope y'all want me to watch more of these type videos because I love videos like this, bro. I'm already enjoying this. Bro.
Number 9. The war dance. One of the most notable traditions used by Maori warriors and still used by many of their national sports teams today is the traditional native dance called the haka. During the dance, the participants say a chant, stamp their feet, stick out their tongues, and bulge out their eyes. While the dance was often performed to welcome special guests, it was actually developed for war. The dance was used in 2 different ways. The first is that it was used to intimidate their opponents. The other way it was used was that it was performed before a battle during a ritual. If there was something wrong with the dance, then the elders were sure that it was a bad omen. This gave them the chance to either abandon or modify their plans. Number 8. The myth.
Hey, first thing first, whoever they was fighting against, for them to even let them sit there and do that dance, that's real. So they respected the culture, because if they fighting somebody and they got time to sit there and do that whole dance right there, and the other side, the enemy is just letting them do it, that's real. That's real, man. Shout out to the enemy for letting them do their dance, and then if they mess it up, they turn around and head home. Like that's different. I never knew that. The mirror club was used to crack skulls.
Club was used to crack skulls. The Mir Club was the most common weapon used by Maori warriors. It was in the shape of a teardrop and made from bone, jade, or stone. They were often decorated and considered heirlooms since it took so long to craft one. They are a blunt force weapon and were used in close-range fighting. Often
But that's still crazy to me. Can you imagine getting your tattoo engraved in you? Can you imagine that? And it's on your face too? I thought getting a tattoo with a needle was painful. Can you imagine this type of pain? I could only imagine the screams that come with it. Or not even like, not like a, not one of those screams, but more so like a, like a grunt, kind of like a, and then I wonder if they did that to the children. Did the children have to get tattoos like that too? Or did they have to, or was the children allowed to wait till they got older to get their tattoos. Also, I feel like since this was so normal that they was getting engraved, they probably talk about it they probably was, whenever it was like a new person turn to get a tattoo, they was probably like giving them all these type of tips and whatnot. Oh, it's not gonna be that bad. Just do this like that. Kind of like when you get tattoos today, you know, like if you ask, like I just got some tattoos like recently this month, right? If you ask me how the pain was or what you could do to, like, I guess, cope with the pain or whatever, I'll be able to tell you. So with them, they getting engraved. Like, I feel like you can't downplay that pain. That pain is another level. But back then, it probably was happening so much that they would just get used to it. But still, and then even doing the engraving, like even you doing the tattoo. You doing the engraved tattoo, that's gruesome too. That's almost like you being a surgeon. All that blood going everywhere, having the guts to even, having the stomach to even do that, and then like not messing up. Like, do they, like, oh my God, bro, that's so crazy to me, man.
Maori Warrior would attack an opposing tribesman by swinging the mere club down on his shoulder. This would hopefully break the collarbone or dislocate or break the shoulder.
Damn.
Then their opponents would be unable to defend himself against a blow to the head, often to the
Oh,
temple.
man.
Behind the temple is the terion, which is the weakest point of the skull. Since the skull is so thin there, it usually only took one blow to that area to kill an opposing warrior. Number 7.
Man.
The dead were buried and dug back up again and then reburied.
Wow.
The Maori had a very unusual method for burying their dead. Starting early in their culture, the Maori people began to bury people twice. First, after a week or two of mourning, the body was wrapped in mats and then would be buried and allowed to decompose. Then, a year later, the bodies were
Bro,
dug
is that body cut in
grabbed-
half, bro? Am I tripping, or is that body cut in half somewhere? Obviously, this is like some type of, what is this right here? This is like a blanket, I'm guessing, because it's over her legs too. Okay, so they got a blanket around him. But the rest of his body hopefully is over here or something.
mats and then would be buried and allowed to decompose. Then, a year later, the bodies were dug up and the bones were scraped to remove any remaining flesh. The bones were then painted with red ochre, which is a natural pigment, and taken to different settlements where they once again mourned the dead. Then there was another ceremony before they were buried again in a sacred place. Once this second burial was complete, the person's soul would go on to their mysterious afterlife. Number 6.
Bro, they did that to every dead person? That sounds like annoying, kind of. That sounds very tedious. Like, oh, we gotta do this. It's time to do the ceremony again. God damn, all these dead, cause, bro, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of dead people. So I'm like, they was either doing this as a whole group, all these bones. But if they was doing this person by person, that is crazy. This sounds like it would be very annoying. Like, oh yeah, you got you gotta dig these. You got duty today. You gotta go dig these people up. It's your turn to do it. Oh yeah, the little boy. Oh yeah, you want to be a grown man? Come on, come do these things that I had to do when I was younger, because it's tradition for you to dig these people up. So yeah, come dig these bodies up. And then, oh yeah, we're gonna do it again very soon because there's more dead people. Oh yeah, we're gonna do it again very soon. And then it's gonna happen to you, bro. That sounds like a chore, kind of like. I wonder if these people actually enjoyed, or not enjoyed doing this, but like was motivated to do it. Like, out of, obviously not everybody was motivated to do it because they was just dead, but I know it had to be some people like, damn, we gotta do this again. Like, it's no way every single person was motivated to do this every time. Think about it. Imagine how many people was dying, like, every year. How often was they doing that? That sounds like annoying, low-key.
The war strategy. A war party called a hapu usually never consisted of more than 100 men, and in some cases women fought as well. Sometimes multiple hapus would come together, but with more warriors, they became less organized. Warriors were also trained from a young age, and every male was trained as a warrior. One specific thing they worked on was wrist strength. This would make their weapons, like the mir, much more effective. How the Maoris would attack other tribes is by traveling to enemy settlements quietly or pretending they were out on a hunting expedition. Once they got close, they would attack, often at dawn. All the men were killed because this eliminated the chance that any tribesman could come back and seek revenge. The women were also taken as a prize of war. Number 5. Heads of the killed were taken as trophies. Heads held a special significance to the Maori people, and they were known to take the heads of their fallen enemies. Once they had the head, they would remove the brain and the eyes. Next, all the orifices were sealed with flax fiber.
Man, I think I've seen this picture before, man. I've seen this picture before. This is crazy. Man. This picture just says a lot, bro.
Gun. The head was then boiled or steamed in an oven. Then the heads were dried in the sun for several days and they were treated with shark oil. One reason why they kept the heads of their enemies was that so they could mock it later. One missionary said he watched one chief say to the head of an enemy chieftain, "You wanted to run away, didn't you? But my greenstone club overtook you, and after you were cooked, you were made food for me. And where is your father? He is cooked. And where is your brother? He is eaten. And where is your wife? There she sits, a wife for me. And where are your children? There they are, loads on their backs, carrying food as my slaves." If that wasn't insulting enough, they also developed a bizarre game with the heads. They would pile them in a heap and then set the head of the principal chief on the top of the pile. Then, using stones or other heads, they took turns trying to knock off the head at the top of the pile. Number 4. Captain James Cook's first encounter was terrifying. The first encounter between the Europeans and the Maori was in December of 1646 when a Dutch ship made landfall near a Maori tribe. Both groups were standoffish, and this led to a small fight that resulted in deaths on both sides. After the run-in, the Dutch sailed off, and Europeans would not go back until October 1767, when English navigator James Cook travelled there looking for the fabled fourth continent. When Captain Cook first encountered the Maori, they sent out 2 war canoes to meet them. When the canoes approached, 2 full-grown Maori warriors, complete with face tattoos, stood up and held the shrunken heads of their latest opponents.
I wonder, how does this start, man? Like, who starts these traditions, man? Like the face tattoo. Who was the one to, like, I'm just curious on how that would even, like, spark at somebody's brain. Just I'm not critiquing y'all or y'all culture or nothing. I'm just curious, like, as the human back then, I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. Like, if I'm that person, what would make me think, like, all right, let's go through some pain to get this stuff on my face? And how do you even know if it would work? Man, I didn't know that y'all culture was, like, big time like this. And then the haka comes from this too. Now, I seen that picture before with the white man standing in front of all those skulls like that. I didn't know that dealt with the Maori people. This is very informal, man. Very informative, man. I like this video, man, because it's teaching me things I never would have learned about.
Who were also covered with tattoos. Cook and his crew immediately noticed the detail on the faces and knew the heads were real. Cook wanted to interact with the Maori peacefully, but there were some misunderstandings and the Maori acted aggressively.
Oh, man.
As a result, the Europeans were supposedly forced to kill a few Maori in self-defense, much to the dismay of Cook.
Supposedly. You gotta read between the lines, people. Even the narrator said the Europeans supposedly they was just supposed to kill him. They supposedly had to kill him. Somewhere along the lines, it went wrong. I'm not gonna say which side I think was the one to be the assholes. I don't know. It might have been Maori people. It might have been the Europeans, but I feel like one side definitely already had in mind that they was going to end up hurting some people. Now, we do have one side that's, like, notorious for doing that, but then as we starting to learn, we have Maori people who's known for some deadly things too. I just know that I'm glad I'm not alive in these older times. If you watching this right now, I want you to understand this. If you watching this and you live in a first world country, you are very blessed, bro. Like, people that's complaining about things over here in America, it's like we are finding things to complain about. They're not really even problems for real, man. Like nobody has no real problems. So that's why you see people complaining about the stupidest stuff, bro. Like, it's people out here complaining about going to Walmart and then, like, bumping into each other with like a cart or like just stupid stuff like Karens out here complaining, black people out here complaining, Asian people out here complaining about their phone being slow. And it's like, bro, we are blessed, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I'm glad I'm not living around these times.
To convince them.
But you know what's crazy? Like 400 years in the future from now, it's going to be somebody learning about us and they're going to say, I'm so glad I'm not living around these times. Like it's always going to be that like that mindset in whatever generation you in. Because you know how we have the internet? What if it's like something else but like that in the future and they be like, dang. Cause you know how like today's time you be like, oh, I would hate to live and not have the internet and not know what it's like to be on or know what internet is. But we have something that we missing out on now and they're gonna be like in the future. I would hate to be alive back in 2020 and not know what this is, whatever we got, and not know what this is and not be able to be on this. Like it's always gonna be that new thing. Like I don't think nobody is gonna look in the past and be like, oh, I wish I was around at this time and truly mean it. I very much doubt that. I feel like it's all anybody can say that until it's time. If you was actually able to do that, I doubt anybody would want to go back in whatever time that they think they would want to go live into. And already know what this is like, I doubt you want to do that.
They had come in peace. Cook and his men ended up kidnapping some Maori warriors. They acted kindly to them and then let them go. This led to a better relationship between the Maori and the Europeans, which would play an important role in the shaping of New Zealand. Number 3, their most famous warrior, Hongi Hika. It is believed that the most famous Maori chief, Hongi Hika, was born in 1778. As a young man, he was a fierce and agile warrior who rose up through the ranks of his tribe. His chief got along with the Europeans and also saw the value of muskets in warfare. The chief managed to trade with the Europeans for several guns and ammo in 1808. The tribe then got into a war with another tribe. Hika's tribe fired off their first shots with their muskets, but the problem with the muskets is that they take at least 20 seconds to reload. The other tribe used this time to attack. Many members of Hika's tribe, including the chief, were slaughtered. Hongi Hika was one of the lucky few to get away. With the chief dead, Hongi Hika was the most senior, so he took control of the tribe. The defeat, however, could have well discouraged...
Bro, look at these tattoos, man. You see the lumps on here, man? You know how committed you gotta be to your tribe to even go and get these tattoos, man? Like, these people really stood for something, and they really meant what they stood for. Like, they really was willing to die over their tribe, man. This is a high, extreme level of loyalty. Like, you are committed. Every day, committed.
Hika from using muskets. However, he had the foresight to see that muskets could be an incredibly important part of warfare, so he got closer to the Europeans, even visiting Australia and England, where he became a bit of a sensation because of his tattoos. He even converted to Christianity and set up the first Christian mission in New Zealand. This relationship to the church gave Hongi Hika access to more rifles because he vowed to become a defender of the church. However, he wasn't simply given all the guns, instead trading for them. As for what the Europeans wanted in exchange for the guns, well, that was shrunken heads. In fact, as the trade became more common, slaves and prisoners... Well, that was shrunken heads. In fact, as the Europeans wanted in exchange for the guns, well, that was shrunken heads. In fact, as the trade became more common, slaves and prisoners of war were brought to the Europeans, and they chose which heads they wanted. The Maori then tattooed the...
They wanted shrunken heads. What?
More rifles because he vowed to become a defender of the church. However, he wasn't simply given all the guns, instead trading for them. As for what the Europeans wanted in exchange for the guns, well, that was shrunken heads.
They wanted shrunken heads?
In fact, as the trade became more common, slaves and prisoners of war were brought to the Europeans, and they chose which heads they wanted.
Bro, why are humans so like this? Why are we like this for? Either I'm just really soft, or I'm just like really like genuine and full of positive love and energy. Or I'm what people would call soft, because bro, this is like, bro, that shit like type sad for real, bro. And it's like and then once you die, you don't know where you going. Like, while you living, you don't know what happens when you die. Like, why we can't just know what happens? You know what I'm saying? Man, that's why I say I'm so blessed, bro. It would have been a scary world back then, bro. It would have been a scary place, bro. Having slaves, well, it's slaves around today. Like, if you watching me, you blessed, because you're not a slave. There's slaves in Libya right now. As we speak, somebody is enslaved right now. Literally. Look it up. And you know what's crazy? I'm not going to say it's nothing we can do or I can do, but I think there's nothing that I can do, so I just don't do nothing. Because I'm so caught up in my first world problems. I'm so caught up in my privileged problems that I'm not even thinking about the slaves over there and how I can go and help them. But I guarantee you, if I was a slave, I would be somebody else would be thinking about me and trying to help me that's across the country. I would be feeling bad for myself and sad every day and hope somebody come and rescue me. And here I am over here in America. I'm not going to say I have the opportunity to go and help these slaves over here in Libya, but I can do something, like at least try to do something. Man, bro, it's a cold world out here, man. For real, cold world, bro. It's a cold world out here, bro.
The Maori then tattooed the chosen victim and decapitated
Cold
them.
world,
the market
man.
got so flooded with Maori heads that they were being sold for as little as £2, which was about a week's wage in England for a working man.
Can you imagine your head getting sold for £2, bro? Like, you mean nothing to the world, bro. You mean nothing to nobody. It's even engraved on a skull. Or I think they drew that, huh? Can you imagine getting... Bro, that's like imagine you getting killed right now. And then, like, you living, you thinking, oh, you so important, you matter to the people that's around you. You matter. When you die, other people's gonna be so sad and they're gonna be hurt. But around this time, somebody killed you, purposely killed you, and then you don't matter that much to the point that they just sell your skull for like £2. Can you, bro? That, like, the disrespect, bro. Just the unhumanness in that, man. Like, they looking at, like, people. I seen a dude in the store that told me, he said he killed like a lot of people, and he don't even see the difference between a human and a dog. Like, they both just animals to him at this point. And back then, it's like the same mindset a little bit. They just looking at humans like they just nothing. Like, you just killing a pig for, like, you're not even important. Like, this shit crazy, bro.
Nevertheless, Hongi Hika was able to amass over 3,000 guns and plenty of ammo and gunpowder in his 10 years as chief. Starting in 1818, his tribe slaughtered other tribes and took their women. Within a year, he had complete control over northern New Zealand. However, other tribes soon followed in Hongi Hika's footsteps and bought their own guns. Hongi Hika was killed when he took a bullet in the lung in 1828. Number 2, infanticide. Like other warrior cultures, the Maoris committed infanticide. Females were...
No, you lying. You're lying. Let me get a thumbnail real quick. Hold on. I'm going to do it at the end, matter of fact. You're lying. So this is where the haka comes from. Look at their face right now. This is the faces that I see in the haka dances and the haka rituals or whatnot. I see it now. That's why they be doing the whole tongue and stuff out. Now look, y'all be learning about this since kids. I don't be learning about this. This is my first time even seeing stuff like this. So it makes sense to you why they do this in the haka. But when I first seen this, I didn't know that this was like this deep. I thought it was just like all of like a group choreographed dance, and it was just like weird to me. But so they killed babies purposely. Let me hear about this.
More likely to be killed because tribes needed more males, since every male was a warrior, and there needed to be a decent number of warriors to ensure the security of the tribe. Also, males were more likely to be killed in battle, meaning that there would have been an upset in the sex ratios later in life. Infanticide was also common if there was anything wrong with the baby. Essentially, there were 5 ways that the infants were killed. Their skulls could be crushed, they could be drowned in a stone basin, strangulation, suffocation, or finally, the most disturbing way was that the mothers would press against the soft spot on the skull and kill the baby instantly. Well, isn't that cheery? Hey, we can't say we didn't warn you. Terrifying is right there in the title. Number 1. They performed cannibalism. Whether the Maori warriors committed cannibalism or not is highly debated. Some historians believe that it was just Europeans trying to paint the Maoris as wild savages. However, besides witness accounts of cannibalism, tribal oral histories and archaeological evidence also strongly suggest that the Maori warriors indulged in cannibalizing vanquished enemies. There are a few reasons that the Maori ate their opponents, and it wasn't because they were hungry. One was to internalize their spirit, which they called mana. Another theory is that cannibalism was part of their post-battle rage. Another is that it would send a message to enemies. They thought that the greatest humiliation you could do your enemy was to kill them, chop them up, eat them, and then excrete them out.
So I really hope...
Okay, now one thing about that last fact is those were theories. That's not a fact. Alright, my fault. One thing about that last thing is that those was theories. He was saying, this is what you gotta do. When people telling you stuff like this, you gotta listen to key words. He was saying another theory, another theory, another theory. Like these, so you can't just take that and run with it. That last one, I'm pretty sure they was eating the people, right? But those was like theories on why they ate them. That he like they don't know the definite reason. And what happens is people will hear a theory and run with it and tell you things as if it's a fact. Like I'm pretty sure if I ask on the video, oh, why did the Maori people eat their enemies, I would get comments telling me what this man just said, but they would tell me it as if it's a fact, like they know, like they were there and they was taught why, oh yeah, we're gonna eat him because it is that. Instead of being like, oh yeah, well, instead to believe that this is the reason why. So then you take that and then you tell people like it's a fact, and then they run with it. I don't know if I'm just a good listener or not, but I be subjective to anything I hear. I kind of just don't take something and just run with it and believe it. Like I gotta know for sure that the person is like meaning what they're saying. I just listen to keywords and whatnot, man. So that last one, I believe that they was eating them, right? But he's gave me 4 different reasons why, but he didn't know which one is the right one. Probably because it was so long ago. So I'm not gonna take one of those and run with it. That's cold though, man. Them facts is like, but them 10 terrifying facts, they definitely is terrifying, man. I feel for the babies though, man. The infants, man, squishing their head, bro, crushing their skull. That's crazy, bro. I'm going though, man. That's like sad. That's a sad video, man. I'm out though, man. Like, subscribe, comment, more bangers coming every day. I ain't know New Zealand was coming like that, bro. I didn't know that y'all was coming like that, man. Selling skulls for £2. That's a week's worth of pay that he said. He said back then that's like a week's worth of pay. Selling a skull for £2, man. That's crazy. I'm out though, man. Let's go.